Located on a peninsula in the Scottish Highlands, the village of Inverie on the Knoydart Peninsula is known for its isolation. There are no roads connecting it to the rest of Scotland. The only way to reach this village is by hiking approximately 15 miles over rough terrain, or by taking a boat across 7 miles of sea. I've spent the last 2 days hiking here. Now let's explore mainland Britain's most remote community. So I made it to Knoydart. I spent the last 2 days hiking through some of the most remote parts of Scotland to reach this remote village. I arrived early evening last night at the bunkhouse and I was quite exhausted after my walk, so I had an early night, but I'm up early this morning and today I'm going to be taking a walk around the area and seeing what it's like here. Knoydart is also home to the UK's most remote pub, so fingers crossed it's open today and I can have a celebratory drink for reaching here by foot. Let's get going. So I'm starting my walk around the area here at the Knoydart campsite. So this is at the far end of the village, and then behind me there are some houses there, and then from here I will then walk through the village and explore what there is. The campsite is in such a fantastic location. If I had a tent I would definitely stay here. So I'll show you a little bit around the campsite and then I'll take you to the bunkhouse and show you around there. That's where I stayed last night. So inside here is a little shelter, so if it's raining you can do some cooking in here, which is great. There's a table, some seats. So you can pay at the shop during the opening hours, and there's this honesty box, so it's £12 for adults and £8.40 for under 16s. Oh, there's also a QR code as well. Maybe you can pay online, but there's not much signal here, I don't think. I'm on Vodafone and I don't have any signal so far. Actually, just behind me is where I came from yesterday, so you can see those hills in the distance. That's a Munro, I believe. Knoydart has fantastic hiking with a few Munros in the vicinity, and I met some fellow hikers staying at the campsite. Wow, look at the views out to the Isle of Rum. It's such a huge area as well. There's space for so many tents. At the back of the little hut, there's an area for doing washing up there, and then there's a tap with fresh water. Oh, there's some firewood for the campsite. It says the campsite woodshed, and then there's more wood here as well. I'm not sure if that's for firewood. That looks like the toilet over there. So there's a urinal. It's a separating toilet. So the urine separating toilet only works for seated users. And then inside the bucket is probably some wood chippings, I would imagine. Yes, so you put that over the solids. A bit like the toilet in my campervan. So this is the walk from the campsite up to the bunkhouse. The views are outrageous. Look over there. Wow, it looks like there's a little bit of fresh snow on the hills. Perhaps it's just the light though. Despite its remoteness, Inverie has several accommodations, including guest houses, the campsite, and a bunkhouse. Just a short walk from the campsite is the bunkhouse, where I stayed last night. This is the lounge area, which is amazing. It really reminds me of hostels in New Zealand with the log burner, all the sofas. Oh, look at the amount of DVDs up here. Videos and DVDs. Oh, Bridget Jones's Diary. That's a good one. There's even a pool table, a mini pool table, and then an Xbox as well. Oh, and then also some, are they buckets for dogs to sleep in? I'm not sure. Oh, and then here's all the maps of the areas, of the area here. So this room here has Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi doesn't reach into the bedrooms, but you can sit in here or in the kitchen and get the Wi-Fi. There's a communal kitchen which is well stocked and has everything you need. So there's a bedroom in there and another bedroom is there. So here's some e-bikes, £35 to rent. They look good. This is the entrance here. So there's some towels here, £2 for the towels. You can put the money in there. The check-in is self-service, so you can just sign your name on the sheet here. I paid £29 for one night in the bunkhouse. So in here is the drying room, and then these are the bathrooms, very nice, very clean. Here's the shower. I had a shower already. They're very good showers, very hot, with good pressure. And then the toilet is like this. And I'm in this room here. This is called room 3, and it's quite near the bathroom. So if you need the toilet during the night, I'd recommend to book this room, but I was woken up with people using the hand dryer overnight. 7 people can stay in this room. Yeah, it's very nice. The bed was very comfortable. When you're booking online, you can choose room 1, room 2, and those are the 2 rooms off the kitchen, or room 3, which is this one. I think this here is the community garden. Welcome to the community garden. Wow, it's amazing. The community garden is in the old Inverie house garden site and has small allotments, polytunnels, community growing spaces, fruit trees, bushes, and a picnic area with a herb garden. Plot holders grow their own food and maintain the communal areas. Oh, that looks like rhubarb. I love rhubarb so much. The buildings here are spread out around a bay, so after checking out of the bunkhouse and exploring the garden, I started my walk towards the main part of the village. So that's the path there down to the bunkhouse and campsite, or the road, and then this is actually where I arrived from yesterday, down that road there. There's some more horses. So here's the road where you would arrive if you continued on the main road into Knoydart, but I took the shortcut down to the bunkhouse and campsite last night. But it says here, take care, you're entering a remote and sparsely populated, dangerous mountain country. I was talking to a few people in the bunkhouse who are here to hike the Munros, so they're basing themselves here in Knoydart, and then yesterday they did 2 Munros on one hike, and then today they're doing another Munro before they head back. And one of the guys, it's his 8th round of Munros, which is incredible. And he was saying that he's done, I think, the Corbetts, he's done them all twice, and he's done the Grahams, I think maybe more than once as well. Wow, he said he's in the top 10% of people who've completed the highest number of Munros. How amazing is that? Wow. So this is the road. I believe it's around a 15 or 20-minute walk from the bunkhouse and campsite to the main village. Yesterday I took a picture of the Knoydart map, and it looks like there's a walk here into the forest. So I'm going to head up there. Wow, how gorgeous is this path. So Knoydart, I believe, is an estate. The whole area is called an estate, and in Scotland you'll find many estates. These are large areas of land, and traditionally they were owned by quite wealthy families, and still even to this day. Knoydart is community owned. I can't talk about Knoydart and its community ownership without mentioning its history. Today the population is around 120, but in 1841 there are records suggesting that the population was around 1,000. During the 19th century Highland clearances, many residents were forced to leave by landowners who wanted to convert the land for more profitable sheep farming. In 1853, over 300 people were evicted from their homes and sent by ship to Canada. However, some families refused to leave. Knoydart survived after the clearances, despite a reduced population, and the community continued to fight for their freedom. In 1948, 7 war veteran residents, known as the 7 Men of Knoydart, claimed land to rebuild their lives. Their landlord took them to court and won. Although the men were unsuccessful, their actions inspired the community and laid the groundwork for the eventual community buyout. In 1997, local residents formed the Knoydart Foundation and by 1999 they had raised £750,000 to buy the 17,200 acre Knoydart estate, which is the largest estate on the 55,000 acre Knoydart Peninsula. Incredibly, one of the 7 men of Knoydart lived long enough to see the buyout. Last year I went to the Isle of Gia, which is a community-owned island, so I think it's absolutely fantastic that these places exist and are owned by the community. I feel like community-owned places have a very friendly atmosphere and a more chilled out and laid-back vibe. It also feels that there's more young people that I've encountered living in these community-owned places, and yeah, just overall the feeling is really nice. So as I've been walking along, I spotted a sewing machine. Is that a sewing machine there? On a tree stump? That's so random. Wow, there's an old piece of machinery of some sort. Is that maybe a tractor? I'm not sure. Wow, it looks so old. Oh, that's interesting. There's a piece of wood with a lovely carving on it of a flower. So it looks like along the side of this path here, they've been planting some new trees. I finished my walk in the forest and then came back onto the road here, and I spotted this. It's a life-size checkers. That's amazing. Wow, this is so cool. Each square has a carving. I can see a whale, butterfly, deer. What a good idea. I'm next going to head to the village and go to the tea room, which is open today, and hopefully get something to eat, have a coffee. They might even have some outdoor seating so I can sit outside and enjoy the amazing views. The weather today is unreal. So this here looks like the start of the village. So it's taken around 20 minutes to walk here from the campsite and bunkhouse area. Oh, there's an old telephone box. The tea room is open on weekdays from 9 AM until 3 PM. I spent some time at the tea room sitting outside, and I had a coffee and a morning roll with tatty scone, veggie haggis and a fried egg. So over in the distance is the 11 o'clock boat coming in, so people have taken a boat from Mainland around there, which takes around 45 minutes. I next took a walk through Inverie, which is the main settlement and is home to half of the area's residents. The village shop sells food, local crafts, and houses the post office. The shop was really well stocked and had lots of interesting items. In the freezer, I spotted venison, which is from Knoydart. The wild deer population on the Knoydart estate needs to be controlled, otherwise the animals would destroy the surrounding vegetation and woodland. Managed culling provides venison, which is butchered locally and sold both locally and online. The village also has a community hall, a school, the pier, and is home to the most remote pub on mainland Britain, which I'll be visiting later in the video. So here it looks like there's some mountain bike trails which go up here. Maybe that would be good for those electric mountain bikes that are for hire. I joined a walk with the Knoydart Ranger to learn more about the area. It cost £20 and was fantastic. We walked through the temperate rainforest around Inverie woods. We spotted rare plants and learnt about the tree planting efforts. Over 500,000 trees have been planted on the Knoydart Peninsula. The Knoydart Foundation aims to protect and sustain the Knoydart Peninsula for future generations. They focus on sustainable land management, local economic growth, and preserving the area's natural beauty. There's also a hydroelectric project to provide clean energy. So it looks like here there's a bistro, and then this is also where the brewery is. There's a sign for the brewery there. I did check on the website and it says they don't really have specific opening hours. It's amazing that there's a brewery here in mainland Britain's most remote community. The owners showed me inside and explained how they make their beer. So that was actually the brewery. So it's in a house and an old Catholic church. So the old Catholic church, which is attached to the house, has been converted into the Knoydart brewery. So there was a lovely couple there and they showed me around. They let me have a look inside the mash tun and have a look inside the building. They have 6 different beers available and I got this one, the Heavenly Blonde, so this was £3. If you'd like to also try the Knoydart beer, you can send them an email and they will ship out their beers via Royal Mail. They also have one of their beers available on tap inside the Old Forge pub, the most remote pub in the UK, so I'll head there before I leave today and try that too. So when I was in the village shop, I bought this. It is a vase and it's made from wood from Knoydart. I'll be giving this as a birthday present to someone who will probably be watching this video, so I'm sorry this will ruin the surprise of what your birthday present is. This is such a lovely place to stop and admire the view over the bay. So behind me are the 2 polytunnels and one of the locals told me that they're planning to grow food in there so that it's more self-sustainable here. Up here looks like there's these 3 little huts. So these little huts I believe are available to rent if you want to come and stay here in Knoydart. They look quite nice. Down here is this building and a local told me that the community are planning to renovate it and it will be a place where elderly residents can live. I always thought Knoydart was just one small village, but actually it's an entire bay. So if you come here, you can walk to the campsite, walk back to the village, and then also walk on the road on the other side as well. Wildlife that can be spotted here includes sea eagles, golden eagles, otters, red deer, dolphins, porpoises, and minke whales. I think the otters always get advance notice when I'm in the area. I've been to so many places where otters have been spotted, but I've still never seen one. I think when I do eventually see one, it will be a very happy day. Now I'm going to head back to the village. It was really nice exploring the other side of the bay. I'm really keen to see the pub, the most remote pub in the UK, see what it's like. I made it back to the village and visited the Old Forge pub, the most remote pub on mainland Britain. This is one of the few community-owned pubs in Scotland. After many years under private ownership, it was recently bought by the community and profits are reinvested back into the business and other community projects for the benefit of all. Cheers for making it all the way here to myself. What a beautiful place to have a beer. I ordered a Knoydart beer and a salmon salad, which was so good. I've decided to go back to my campervan via a different route. I booked my ticket online for my boat to Mainland. This passenger service is operated by Western Isles Cruises. My ticket cost £7.50 and the journey took around 45 minutes. The crossing back was very smooth and the views of the surrounding mountains were wonderful. When I got to Mainland, I boarded a train to Fort William and crossed the Harry Potter viaduct for the first ever time. From Fort William, I then took a taxi back to the end of the longest dead-end road in the UK to pick up my campervan Ernie. My journey down the UK's longest dead-end road, a 2-day hike through Scotland's last wilderness, and a day exploring the UK's most remote mainland community. This has been an amazing trip that I'll never forget. Thank you for watching the video today, and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos about Scotland.